What if you just die and then you just see nothing forever?
Are you afraid of death, by the way?
Yes.
From surviving the armed robbery to having the real group of stalkers that were following Jimmy anywhere he goes, these are the 8 times when MrBeast almost died. And first, MrBeast was almost killed in the creepiest way possible by 2 of his best friends. Carl and Chris gave Jimmy an experience that he's gonna see in his worst nightmares. It happened when Jimmy decided to film the 50 hours buried alive video.
I'm gonna spend the next 50 hours buried alive in this coffin. Probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. Boys, seal me up! Welcome to my coffin. I have a camera here, down by my feet.
MrBeast had hundreds of safety experts, but none of them could predict the thing that almost killed Jimmy, because MrBeast asked his friends to tase him in case he quits the challenge.
If for whatever reason I get out early, you guys get to tase me.
What part of your body do you want tased?
I don't know. Where do people normally get tased?
The ball.
That made MrBeast friends do absolutely everything to get MrBeast out of the coffin, including some really dangerous ideas.
Are you sledgehammering the ground? Yeah! Woo! Oh, it's fireworks. The outside goes crazy, Jimmy!
Celebrating 1 hour left! Woo! Could you smell the smoke down there?
I actually can't.
We think it got in your ventilation system, sorry.
Wait, really?
And in case the smoke from the fireworks would get into the ventilation system a little bit more, MrBeast wouldn't even last 10 minutes inside of this coffin. Needless to say, it would be impossible to dig him out that quickly, but this wasn't the end of the MrBeast's real-life nightmare in this coffin.
So this one we learned from it. So we had a pump that was pumping in air and pumping out the old air.
What was the most catastrophic thought you had while you were completely buried?
There was a camera at my feet. Tariq could also talk about this too. And I went to like go adjust it and I couldn't. So I like literally turned around, and I'm, you know, not super flexible. So I literally like was going to turn. And so like I'm laying like this, and as I'm like bending, I got caught like halfway. And I was like, I was literally like, guys, if I can't get out of this in 2 seconds, you start digging right the fuck now. Because I was like caught in a super awkward position.
Damn, almost dying twice for a single video is the thing only MrBeast could do. But one time, people who invited Mr. Breast for a video left him with his face bleeding, and it almost became a huge disaster. Guys from the How Ridiculous channel asked Jimmy to participate in one of their challenges, and at first, it seemed like a regular fun video.
We filled this whole film studios with giant balloons. We've got Team How Ridiculous, Team MrBeast.
Yes, MrBeast! AKA Team America. Yes, America. I love America. If we pop those balloons before they pop that balloons, we win. Yeah!
2 teams were popping balloons, but things went sideways really fast, because right when MrBeast was about to win an entire game, he almost lose his face in the final challenge.
Here we go! Woo! Come on, boys! We got throw harder, What the heck? Ow, they're bouncing back, ow!
The little knives MrBeast was throwing to the balloons started bouncing right back at him, touching his face with a really sharp blades, and it went worse than anyone could imagine.
Ow, they're bouncing back, ow! They're so hard. These things hurt. Stop.
I think one of those hit me there.
Oh my god.
How bad did it hit?
You're a beast. You got messed up.
Jimmy got his forehead bleeding, but if this knife bounced back just an inch lower, MrBeast would forever lose one of his eyes. Needless to say, Jimmy was shocked, but the luck was definitely on his side this time. But the next thing made MrBeast double his security, and now he never goes public without a bunch of bodyguards. This might be the most disturbing story from today's video, and I really mean it.
One time I was in a Target. I walk in, someone asked for a photo, I took it, just go to the toothbrush aisle, and when I'm checking out, a kid just runs in the front door, and he's like, it's real.
It started when a MrBeast fan took a photo with Jimmy, but what this little kid said to MrBeast next was terrifying.
And he's like, it's real. And I was like, what? And he's like, there's a Discord that tracks your location, and I thought it was fake, but it said you were here. And I hadn't shown him yet. And like anytime someone tagged me in an Instagram photo or anything, it would like load it up there, and then people would use it to figure out where I'm at so they could like try to find me.
There was an entire Discord server full of stalkers who were constantly tracking MrBeast's exact location by analyzing other locations of Jimmy's friends, and even people who were simply taking photos with him.
That's stuff that doesn't happen when you have 10 million subscribers. But when you have 100 million, you're like, oh, this is like a different league. Like, okay, now if someone wanted to kill me, there's a Discord channel that tracks where I am at all times. Like, this is just not the same.
Anyone in this Discord server knew MrBeast's location in real time, literally whenever he was spotted in public. So it's more than a miracle that nobody tried to hurt him. But the thing number 5 not only almost killed Jimmy, but ruined his entire life.
I really didn't have any friends. Like I said, tons of pimples, no money, no like dad. It was just like my mom who was working all the time. Like it's a miracle I'm here.
When MrBeast turned 15, he was diagnosed with the Crohn's disease, and this thing changed his life once and forever.
We've heard that you love baseball.
Yeah, I
like,
wanted to play baseball like in college and go on, but then I got Crohn's disease, and so I just gave up on that dream instantly. I was like, oh, well, this isn't a thing anymore. When I turned like 15, 16, I just randomly lost like 60 pounds. I started going to the bathroom like 20 times a day. I was in intense pain, and you know, one day you can hit a home run, the next day you can barely hit it out of the infield. I literally just shrank down to like skin and bones, and over the course of like 3 months, and it's because my digestive tract started attacking itself. I got Crohn's disease, and yeah, baseball just kind of went out the window then.
MrBeast had a dream of professionally playing baseball, but when he lost half of his entire weight in just a few weeks and was barely moving, he realized he will never achieve this dream. Jimmy had to stay home for months. He was hating his face because it was completely covered in pimples. Jimmy also had no friends, which made the situation much worse, and he was later diagnosed with depression. Then MrBeast started making his very first videos and going to his only friend's house. But besides almost dying, Jimmy started lying to his own mom, which later started a war between MrBeast and his mom.
I was like, oh, we found a way to do this more efficient, so I have a couple extra hours. So I'm like, okay, let's start a gaming channel. I just naturally, it's in me to like push and hyper optimize my time to like just do more things. Yeah. So I don't think there's ever gonna be a world where I'm not stressed 24/7. No one's forcing me to do a reaction channel. No one's forcing me to run a charity or a gaming channel or have a virtual restaurant or a snack brand or the main channel or the other stuff we're working on.
Gosh, that's a long list of things right there.
Exactly.
And MrBeast might be the only YouTuber on the planet who risks his life so much for his videos. Because one time Jimmy almost died from the overheat while being in the middle of the ocean, hundreds of miles away from the nearest hospital.
It feels so good. All right, come on out. Come on. Dude, you're sweating, dude. It's hot as fuck in there.
Oh my god, I need some shit. I felt like I was gonna die. But we're gonna go in for round 2, but I need a little break.
MrBeast decided to win a game of Fortnite in the middle of the ocean, and it might be the worst planned MrBeast video of all time, and it went wrong from the very beginning. At first, Jimmy was trying to play Fortnite on his iPhone while sitting inside a plastic ball floating on the ocean.
No, John Wick. It was a John Wick.
After Jimmy failed, he took Chris's laptop and tried playing again. This time Fortnite wouldn't even launch, and the heat was so extreme that Jimmy nearly passed away.
Alright guys, what I learned today, being in a Zorball in the middle of the ocean is miserable. We're still gonna win a game in the middle of the ocean from a boat, because that was miserable. There's only 2 people left, and they killed me, which is stupid. I just want a viral video.
Later, he barely got out of the ball and switched to playing on a small yacht he had. But just as he was about to secure a victory, MrBeast's computer completely shut down.
Ah! Shut up, Seagull! No, it died! Oh.
Not only this video almost killed Jimmy, but it might be his worst challenge ever. But in the next story, one of MrBeast's biggest friends ever almost died 2 times in a row. Carl, whose mom is Mr. Bleach's biggest center of attention, barely escaped the early trip to heaven twice in less than a year.
The second you step on the gas, it's immediate acceleration. The second you step on the brake, it's immediate deceleration. Okay? So we're driving down the street. I'm in the moped.
Carl and a bunch of other MrBeast's friends were driving on the motorcycles, and one single break almost ended his life forever.
Wait, let me just say what happened. He's in front of me in the go-kart, and then out of nowhere, he slams on the brakes. Slams. And then I slam on the brakes, and then the moped flips, and I hit the ground, sliding in the road. The moped lands on top of me, slides on the road, and now I have, my leg is messed up.
Do you want to show them, like...
I have pictures. We'll show the pictures on the screen.
I have a picture.
We'll show some of them.
This scooter landed on top of Carl when he dropped on the ground while still going over 30 miles an hour. And in fact, scooters like that could weigh up to 250 pounds.
I'm bandaged up right here. It's actually pretty messed up. I can't really show this bandage.
Carl had to spend weeks in hospital and skipped a plenty of MrBeast videos because of his condition, but luckily he's okay now. Even crazier thing is that Carl got in a car crash earlier this year, but we know absolutely nothing about this story except that nobody was hurt. Going back to MrBeast, there was only one video that he actually regrets doing. This challenge was so tough for Jimmy, he was on the verge to quit it many times during the recording and said he would never do it ever again.
I am going to spend the next 24 hours in this house made 100% of ice. It's gonna be cold because it's ice. Ice! Ice! Even the toilet is made of ice. Oh my goodness, the seat is so cold.
This is the 24 hours in ice challenge, and this video could do inevitable damage to Jimmy's body. It also turned out to be almost impossible, and there were actually multiple reasons for that.
What video have you done where you've like been like, yo, I don't know if I want to do this one, or like you were just, it made you like this?
For whatever reason, I did a video where I spent 24 hours on ice, and that was probably the most miserable I've ever been in my entire
Wait, what do you mean
existence.
in ice? Because you can't spend 24 hours in ice.
We built a house out of ice, and I lived in that house for a day.
Like an igloo.
Oh my God.
But it was like freezing.
Besides being very cold in there, Jimmy also couldn't normally use the toilet and didn't sleep a single minute during the night. He was also constantly shaking since he had no jacket and ate the hot food only once in the beginning of the challenge. It was so cold inside, some of MrBeast cameras even died.
These last few hours were the hardest by far. I'm so close to being done, but every part of my body wants to get out now. Is that a bathtub? Get in the hot tub. Shut up! Get in the hot tub. Ah!
Did you sleep?
No, I was shivering the whole night. It was dumb, but whatever. People
How do you
liked
come
it.
up with that one?
I don't know. I regret that video. It was painful.
The worst thing about this challenge is that Jimmy could easily freeze his fingers and toes in such cold, which later could lead to the entire arm or leg amputation, and I'm not even kidding. When a person gets so cold to the point where he loses a part of his body, he can't even feel it. So who knows what would happen if this challenge lasted just a couple of hours longer. But the final thing is truly the most insane, because one time MrBeast had to experience a real armed robbery in his house. Not only he could easily die, but this almost ended his entire career at the time. Since then, MrBeast got a real fear of being murdered and had to move to the opposite side of his town, and it happened when Jimmy's career was only getting started.
Someone broke in and stole all my clothes, and when I like opened my closet after I got robbed, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I was gonna get rid of them.
This thief stole all of MrBeast's items, and Jimmy said he was living in a below average house in a really bad neighborhood.
I lived in like a super below average home, and I kind of learned why famous people don't live in below average homes, because someone broke in, stole everything I owned. So I had to get a little nicer house for security reasons. But before I was robbed, I mean, like my place is like a little duplex, $700 a month.
But besides stealing all the items, this thief also almost stole the entire money MrBeast had.
He also took my Bitcoin at the time too. So I had a laptop like this. Right here was just written my private key. 'Cause I don't know. It just said Bitcoin private key.
Come on,
so
Jimmy.
He steals my laptop. They just took it. There was like $2 million, which was every dollar to my name at that point. And I was literally just about to sell it and fund a bunch of videos. And I'm like crying as I'm loading it up, and my heart is pounding. I'm like, please, it's there. It's all there. And he's busy stealing my TV, my blanket, instead of the fucking Bitcoin that was sitting right there. Fucking idiot. Fuck you.
I honestly have no idea why MrBeast is so lucky, but that wasn't the craziest part in this story. If this thief stole the money MrBeast had, he would never become famous and would probably get a normal job to get at least any money to feed himself and his single mom. But what really matters is that Jimmy started paying crazy attention to his security. He hired his first bodyguard and later even tested a bulletproof car in one of his videos.
Things first is the bulletproof windows that are this thick. The car is also encased in explosive-proof armor that we're gonna put to the test later on.
But talking about life and death, MrBeast is really scared to die. Jimmy was about to die so many times in his life that it doesn't even feel real for him anymore.
Are you afraid of death, by the way?
Yes. It's hard because what if you just die and then you just see nothing forever?